Well, what a day. I've just got in. It's 11 o'clock at night. My 2-year-old basically had a bit of a cold that progressed into quite a hoarse, chesty rattle cough that eventually ended up in her gasping for breath and could barely breathe. This was, we took her to the walk-in centre, kind of not A&E, but not far off. Uh, about 10 o'clock this morning, she was seen to, and everything was all fine, and she was sent home. Temperature was great and listened to her chest. Everything was fine. Basically, just said, "Look, take care of her at home. Give her just over the counter Calpol, ibuprofen, and look after her. Plenty of fluids, plenty of rest. Keep her warm. Keep an eye on her." Anyway, by about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, she progressively got worse. She got to the point where she was coughing and being sick, and she was really, really gasping for air. And the thing that was the most concerning, or the most concerning to my wife, was she was sucking in like her esophagus area, like there, and also like her chest, just below her chest cavity there, quite a lot. And it seemed like she was really, really, really suffering and struggling to get air, oxygen into her body. Anyway, we decided to take her into A&E, and when we started getting her ready, I don't know whether it was the sort of jingling her about or putting her clothes on, and the added oxygen that my daughter kind of needed. I think she had like a bit of a panic attack off the back of that, and she was really struggling to get oxygen in, which made her panic even more, which made my wife panic, which it all just kind of went a bit downhill from there. Anyway, we got into the hospital and got seen to, and basically it was quite serious. Oxygen was really, really low. Croup is what it was called. Quite a bad case of it, which is a viral infection which kind of closes up the airways. And basically, the best way that she described it was it's a restriction in your airways. It's like you're breathing through a straw. So the chest and everything down of sort of the windpipe is trying its hardest to suck in as much oxygen as it can, but it's got like a tiny little passage to get the oxygen and the air down into the body. So it was obviously looking really, really bad. My wife had hold of her, was trying to just calm her down basically, and I think me child had another bit of a panic attack, and she was sort of a bit drifting in and out of consciousness almost. At the same time, another child was having an emergency on the ward, and I couldn't find a nurse for love nor money. And I was running around with my daughter in my arms, and she was like, eyes were rolling, and she was touch and go whether she was on the planet or not on the planet, basically. Anyway, found a nurse come in and got her on oxygen and some kind of steroid inhaler kind of mask situation, and then they rushed her kind of into resus, which is worrying. And she was very eye rolly and very like not really coherent in what was going on and burning up, very rosy cheeks and what have you. Anyway, she was on this like an atomizer kind of oxygen mask where the steroid solution was getting pumped in with oxygen, and within half an hour, my daughter Felicity sort of pulled around really fast and started talking, and she sort of lost her voice over like 24 hours to like almost nothing. But she was talking brilliant, amazing. She's so good with her speech. It was nice to hear her voice again. So anyway, everything turned out absolutely fucking brilliant, and I've come away now. My wife's staying in with her. She's on a ward and a different child completely to like 4 or 5 hours ago. Chalk and cheese, unbelievable difference. So it's sort of a good, sort of a good outcome. Couldn't be a better outcome of the whole situation, to be honest. So it's been a bit of a long day, but I think if my wife hadn't had experience or heard of that the sucking in of the sort of throat area and chest area was a massive red flag, we probably wouldn't have acted maybe as when we did. I don't know. But when we got to the hospital, they said you were in the urgency of needing an ambulance. That's how serious it was. I mean, we'd probably got there quicker driving, which we did. We drove, than calling an ambulance. So I'm glad we did that. But that obviously is testament of how serious it had kind of got. So hats off to my wife for obviously trusting her instinct and knowing at the back of her mind that that was something to be really, really scared of. And obviously the situation's turned out for the positive, probably because of that. So if you ever come across that in the future, sorry, um, just be aware of it and think that it's always best to get checked out than not get checked out. But typical blokes were like, ah, nah, be all right. She's just got a cold and this and there. But that's definitely one thing. It'll stick in my mind forever, and I'll always the chest tucking in is. It's definitely something to be aware of as a bloke. Definitely put that into the back of your mind. It might come in handy, even if it's not your kids. It might be somebody else's kids at the end of the day. So yeah, the child and my wife, me child and my wife are in on a ward now. So just obs overnight, and she should be out tomorrow. Fingers crossed. But yeah, bright as a button when I left. Absolutely gorgeous. I come home we've got a 4-month-old. Packed a bag for the pair of them. Dropped that off, and I've left them on the ward. Snacks and milk and cookies and such as that, and everything the kids that we don't feed our kids. But today's been one of those days where she deserves a bit of a treat. My wife, no, my child as well. So yeah, just thought I'd do a bit of a video because blokes probably don't talk about stuff that they go through. But I don't know, the world's changing, I suppose, in it to a certain degree. And we're not as bulletproof as what we once were. And I'm not saying that we should or shouldn't be that, but I definitely feel like we should all club together a little bit and share things that we go through, especially if there's a learn from it and there's something that could like potentially save a child's life. Definitely worth knowing. So the only upside of it is I've got a super king size bed to starfish on to myself. I'm 6'4", and I was starfishing before with my wife in it, but now I've got a full bed to myself. But yeah, I've come home, I've had a massive load of chocolate and a massive glass of Coke, so I'll probably be in a hypoglycemic coma and in bed. But no doubt my 4-year-old will be crying in about 2 hours. At the minute, he'll be crying in 2 hours wanting a bottle, and I can't nudge my wife. So, but at least I'm not on a ward with loads of other kids and all that noise. But I'm glad my wife's there with me, my daughter, obviously. I just hope they're home soon. Can't wait to see him.